Imagine this, living in a climate-controlled cage, eating food that never touched soil, greeting the sun through glass. That isn't what our ancestors fought for. This is definitely not what our souls signed up for. Look around you. We live in cages we call apartments, houses, offices. We breathe air that has been filtered, conditioned, processed, stripped of the wild. We eat food wrapped in plastic, food that has forgotten the taste of soil. We breathe the sun through glass and call that living. Once we rose and slept with the rhythm of the earth. Once we knew the names of the trees and the stars and the spirits within them. Once we belonged, not to a system, but to a world that sang to us. Now the song has been replaced with static. The system tells us, don't remember, stay busy, stay scrolling, stay caged. But the truth is, the wild is still in you, in your blood, in your breath, in the way your heart stirs when you hear the ocean or the wind in the leaves. And I am here today to remind you, you were not born for the cage, you were born for the song. So, the problem, which is the cage that we created for ourselves, has disconnected us from nature. Instead of seasons being something that we live in rhythm with, it has become background noise. Loss of ancestral memory for all of different cultures. So wisdom has been replaced by algorithms, numbers. Isolation disguises connection. So screens pretending to be community. So one thing that I find myself, I am very much isolated. I don't have family around me. I have one friend that lives in the same city that I do. And we don't hang out that much, I'll be honest. But we send reels to each other all the time. We send memes to each other all the time. But there is no deep connection, deep conversation, growth of community together. And the last thing is the psychic cost, right? So we see this epidemic of anxiety, depression, and spiritual amnesia that we find ourselves in a society that is completely disconnected from self, from nature, and the world at large. The deeper root, the cage isn't just physical, it's a frequency prison. You see, it keeps us tuned to fear and scarcity, so we forget we are wild, whole, and made of the same stardust as the rivers and mountains. Ancient cultures lived in reciprocity with the land. The modern world teaches extraction, not relationship. And I see this a lot, once again, in social media, where people have been spending so much time indoors that they forgot how clouds look like. Clouds. They think that planes and clouds are spaceships. No, my friends. It's just how clouds are formed. Learn about cloud formation. Learn about storm formation. All these things. And now with AI is even worse. We are getting confused between artificial rendering and natural rendering, which is biology and chemistry and all that. So the vision is, obviously, in my point of view, the wild. Point what's possible. Imagine waking up with the sun, moving with the seasons, eating food that carries the memory of rain and earth, so that it can not only nourish you, but also give you the necessary nutrients and codes so that you can continue living. Knowing your neighbors, human and non-human, creating community together, community gardens, community playgrounds, community wild areas, so that we can grow together as, once again, a community. A mind clear enough to hear your own heart without interference. So being so in tune with yourself that you know exactly how to express yourself so that your community may help you. So that I want to remind you that this wild is not somewhere far away. It begins where your feet are. I will link in the description 5 practices for the first steps back to the wild, such as daily rewilding moment, like being barefoot on soil, even if it's in the middle of a city. Ancestral memory recall, remembering things that your ancestors knew by heart. Tech Sabbath, for example, to set a time each week without screens. So spending a whole day, no screens, and maybe reading books, spending time in nature, spending time with community, spending time with family. And while crafting or foraging, which is something that I want to start doing more. Something that you can do in your local area, which is dangerous depending on where you are, especially because of the pesticides, but it's still possible to do it. So to close my transmission for today's lesson, I want to speak from my voice and somebody that I love very much. So what we want to say is, you are not born for the cage. You are the wind, the root, the tide. Remember the song of the world, and it will remember you. Last but not least, I call you to action. This week, choose one act that returns you to the wild. Then do it again and again until you no longer ask permission to be free. Thank you very much for listening to this week's lesson. If you have any suggestions on future lessons or what you would like me to read to you about, talk about, please leave a comment in the comment section. Feel free to join my Discord. If the link doesn't work, please let me know. I will reply to you with a link that works, and we can build a community. I know I just said everything is on through screens, but I would like to create a community that comes together in person as well. I am in the South of America, so if you're in the South of America, welcome home. Let's be friends and build this community together. Peace out, everyone. Have a great weekend.